Alright, in this video, part 4 to creating a custom calendar from scratch, and we're finally going to start working on row 1. Row 1, it works different in my opinion than the rest of the rows because we got to find what the first day of the month falls on. We got to determine whether it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, and then we have to be able to create the rest of that row, and then we have to worry about, okay, is Sunday the first day of the week or is it Monday? There's a lot going on here to get this to work correctly, and that's why we're going to start. We're not going to completely finish row 1 by any means. We have styling to worry about. We have the overlap dates to worry about. I'm going to save that for future tutorials. Trust me, this is going to be a brainful in this one little part right here. Now, we have two globals that we're going to focus on, and that is the text global FDOM. This stands for first day of month. I'm going to explain this to you. And then our other text global called row 1. I'm only going to cover this part of the code, and then later on in the series, we can come back and add the rest of this. But up until this point, this is a good spot for me to show you the power of the module index. And yeah, really just the power of SI module index, no doubt about it. So over in this calendar from scratch, this is part 4 now. I'm going to go over to the globals and I'm going to show you that I already have those globals applied right here and here. Now the FDOM, let's talk about FDOM, the first day of the month. Now I'll explain what that code, why is it returning a 1? Well, we will see that right here in a moment. Let's just mess around with this code. I'm going to do df and I'm going to close it up. Right now that's returning a 5. Now here's what the df function will do. The df function will return the ISO day of the week, and it will always be a number. 1 is Monday, 2 is Tuesday, 3 is Wednesday, 4 is Thursday, 5 is Friday, 6 is Saturday, and 7 is Sunday. So over here in this little Excel file, here and here, these numbers that you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's the DFF. Now notice I have the exact same numbers up here, but this top part is when Sunday's the first day of my week. This second one down here is when Monday is the first day of my week. Now we can dive into this code a little bit more. I'm going to put a comma after this, and suppose for some weird reason I wanted to know, okay, what about May 27th, 2019. That's going to be my next birthday. What day of the week will May 27th of 2019 fall on? I can figure that out by typing in 27 and I'm going to follow that with a D. So the 27th day of May, so I'm going to do a 5 and I'm going to put an M after that. The 27th day of the 5th month, and then I'm going to do 2019 followed by a year. So May 27th, 2019, it's returning this 1 right here. So evidently my birthday is going to be on a Monday of next year. Let's verify that. I have a Excel calendar. I'm going to change the year to 2019. And let's fast forward to May and see if May 27th, 2019, it falls on a Monday. Perfect. All right, what about New Year's of the year 2020? So the first day of the first month of the year 2020. So to see that, I'm going to come back. It's returning a 3. So that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3, Wednesday. Let's verify that. I'm going to change my year to 2020. And there we go. So January 2020, January 1st falls on a Wednesday. That's why this is returning a 3. So now, hopefully you're seeing how this can be helpful, because what this is going to do, it's going to help us determine what day of the week does the first day of a particular month of a particular year fall on. So I'm going to delete this part of the code that I've explained because we don't really need that. But now let's dive into the code that we do have for FDOM, first day of month. So DFF. Now, we don't really need that plus here. You can take that away. I'm just going to leave it there, but you do need it for these other parts because we're actually linking globals within this code. So this is the first day of some month, and that month is going to be whatever GV month is. Since we've talked about GV month, we know that this can change depending on how we are cycling through our calendar. And the same thing applies over here. We have to follow these with pluses, whatever GV year, whether it be 2018, 2019, or 2099 for all I care, we want to use that particular year, put a plus and put a Y to correspond to year. So right now, this is saying the first day of some month of some year. Well, what month and what year am I talking about right now? Let's go check our GV month and our GV year. Right now, our month is October and our year is 2018, and we can verify that right down here as well. So let's go to October of 2018 and let's verify again the first day of October of 2018. Apparently this is going to be a Monday. Let's verify that on our Excel calendar. And check it out. October of 2018, the first day of the month falls on a Monday. That is why we are returning a 1 here. Now bear in mind, this will change, and this is important because as we change our month or our years, the first day of the month will change. So I hope you understand what FDOM does now. It's going to be a number. We're always going to get some number, and it's going to be 1 through 7. Now for the row 1 code, and I mentioned a moment ago, I do not have the full code copied in here. I've copied it from here all the way down to here. After this +2 and you have a comma, I put +2, a parentheses, and a dollar symbol. This part of the code will return the first days for that first row of the month. I will go over the overlap in a future part of this tutorial series, but this part down here will show the numbers from the previous month. I call them overlap. I'm not worried about that right now. Let's focus on this. Now I already have it copied in here, and let me show you the power of that little code. I mean, it's small compared to some of the other ones we're going to see, but if we go back to items, I'm going to go to everything, and I had this new stack group. I called it row 1. And it has a little square inside of it. Well, let's go to row 1. This stack group is going to be horizontally centered because I'm about to show you how powerful this is. I'm going to start copying and pasting in a moment, and we're going to see some numbers pop up. But before I do that, let's go to this overlap group, and what I want you to notice is that this overlap group is the first item in this stack group. This overlap group has an index of 0. Very important. Notice I have an index up here. You see all these indexes? Index 0, index 1, index 2, and same thing down here. Very important to note. But inside of this overlap group, I have two things. I have a square, and its size is set to the cell width. That's this square you see here. And I have its paint set to a semi-transparent just for the sake so we can see where we are. And now let's back out. The other item I have inside of this overlap group is a text item, and I have the font and the text size applied to it, and all I have for the code is row 1. And again, that's from here all the way down to right there, as I discussed a moment ago. Well, right now it's not returning anything. That's okay. I'm going to back out of here, and I'm going to go to this overlap group that has the square and what is supposed to be a text item. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste, and watch what happens as I keep on pasting. I have 7 of these overlap groups now, and what's important to note here is that this overlap group, this first square, has an index of 0. This has an index of 1, index of 2, index of 3, etc. That's going to be helpful when I explain these codes right here in a moment. Well, if you recall, October of 2018, this is the first row of October 2018. Sunday is blank because Sunday was September, right? See that? But notice October 1st, 2018, it falls on a Monday, boom. And then Saturday we had the 6th. Everything's looking perfect there. If I go over to another month, such as November of 2018, the first day falls on a Thursday. Let's verify that over here on our calendar and check it out. It is working perfectly. Now, I think all of the bugs are worked out, from like 2 months ago I started talking about this calendar. I think everything's working pretty doggone good, but hopefully you do see here. Let's go ahead and bump on up to December. It falls on a Saturday. That's working perfectly. And then let's go on up to January of 2019. So that should fall on a Tuesday. And yes, January the 1st of 2019 falls on a Tuesday. Perfect. Not only that, if I go over to Excel and I change the week start to a Monday, if I come back to my globals for this component and I go up to Sun first, notice everything's shifted over. I don't know if you saw that. Check out how the Sundays and the Mondays are shifting, but also the days are shifting and the numbers are shifting as well. It's working perfect. If Monday's the first day of our month, still January the 1st of 2019 is going to fall on a Tuesday. Everything is lining up perfectly here. I hope you see the power of SI module index. So with all that said, let me explain to you why this works the way it works. Get your thinking caps on. It's going to get a little bit crazy. So let's run through some scenarios here. Let's suppose the first day of some month. Let's suppose FDOM. Remember, this is going to return a number. If FDOM was equal to 7, that means the first day of the month falls on a Sunday, okay? So let's keep this in mind. And let's look at this top one, this top piece right here. Well, this is the scenario that we would have. If the first day of the month falls on a Sunday, how do we get all this stuff to work the way that it works? Well, let's look at the code. So right here, if FDOM is 7, the first day of our month is 7, there's that. GV Sun first, well, that's true as well for this particular scenario because Sunday is the first day of my week. And now let's look at this part of the code. SI module index, 1. That is the overlap group. Remember those overlap groups that I copied and pasted? The module index, if it's equal to 0, well, there's our module index of 0, then I want to simply return a 1 for that day. And boom, there's the 1. Well, how do we get this 2 and this 3 and this 4 and this 5 and this 6 and this 7 to show up? Well, we have to dive into our code a little bit more to see this in action. So bear in mind, Sun first is on, Sunday's the first day of our week, and FDOM is equal to 7 right now. So if I come on down to right here, Sun first is on, FDOM is 7, very good. To get these other numbers to work, watch what happens. We take the module index of the overlap group and we add 1 to it. Check it out. Module index is 1, we add 1 to that, boom, we get the second day of the month. And look at this pattern. Module index of 2, we add 1 to it, we get 3. Module index of 3, we add 1 to it, we get 4. That little thing right there is finishing up all of this. We're taking the module index and we're adding 1 to it to get that day of the month. That's awesome, right? Well, what about other situations? Let's suppose FDOM is not 7. Let's suppose FDOM is 3. I'm just making up some random number here. Well, what does that mean? The first day of the month falls on a Wednesday. So what situation are we talking about? We're talking about this situation right here, where the first day of the month falls on a Wednesday. FDOM is equal to 3. So clearly, this part of the code's not going to work because FDOM's not equal to 7. So scratching that. Let's check out this part of the code. GV Sun first, okay, that's on. And FDOM, well, that's equal to 3. Is that 3 equal to the module index that we are on? Well, 3 equals 3, absolutely. FDOM is 3, the module index is 3. Those two things are equal. What do we want to return? A 1. There it is. So that code right here is what's getting this 1 to show up. How do we get the 2, the 3, and the 4 to show up? Well, let's come on down to right here. GV Sun first. Yes, Sunday is the first day of our week. FDOM, that's 3 still. The first day of the month is still a 3 in this scenario. Is 3 less than or equal to the module index that we are on now? Well, let's go and look. So remember, FDOM is 3. 3 is less than or equal to 4, right? So because I'm trying to get this second day, that module index is 4. So yes, 3 is less than or equal to 4. What do we want to do? We want to take that module index that we are on, 4. We want to subtract F-dom is 3. 4 minus 3 is 1, but then we want to add 1 to it. Check out what we get. 2. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's move on. Let's see if we can get this 3 to work now. How do we get this 3 to work? Well, we're still inside the same code, except now the index is changing. We're now in index number 5. We're trying to get this 3 to work, granted the first day of our month fell on a Wednesday. So F-dom is still 3. That's the Wednesday. So F-dom is 3. Is that less than or equal to our module index of our overlap group? Absolutely, because now we're talking about an index of 5. Well, let's take that 5. Let's subtract F-dom from it. That's 3. And let's add 1 to it. 5 minus 3 is 2, plus 1 gives us 3. Ta-da! And this will continue to work onward. Now, let me show you one more scenario, but I mean, we're pretty much covering all the stuff that we need to cover, except I haven't talked about sun first being off. But before I do that, I just want to make sure you understand this. Let's let F-dom be equal to 5. Okay, so 5, we're saying the first day of our month falls on a Friday. Friday, the first day of our month falls on a Friday. Well, let's check out this code right here. GV sun first. Yes, Sunday is still the first day of our week. Is F-dom 5? That's our F-dom now. Is that equal to the module index that we're currently on? Well, yes. F-dom is equal to the module index. So what do we want to return when these two things are equal? We want to return a 1. As you can see, that's exactly what we're getting here for this particular part. Now, if we come down, how do we get this 2? How do we get this 2 here? Well, now we're in module 6. Okay, so sun first is on. F-dom is 5, what I said here. Is that less than or equal to the module index that we are in? That module index is 6. So yes, it is. We're doing the same code, folks. We take the module index of 6, subtract F-dom, which is now 5, and then we add 1 to it. 6 minus 5 is 1, plus 1, we get 2. I hope that makes sense there. So yes, these codes that I have gone over so far, all of these codes that I've mentioned only cover when Sunday is the first day of our week. GV sun first, GV sun first, GV sun first, and GV sun first. So let's talk about when Sunday is not the first day of our week. So we're talking about, this part of the code and this part of the code. So let's establish some random F-dom. Let's let F-dom be equal to 4. That means the first day of our month is on a Thursday. But now we are letting Sunday not be the first day of our week. Sun first is going to be equal to 0. That means Monday is going to be the first day of our week. So let's come to the second part of this Excel file. We're letting F-dom be Thursday. So Thursday, first day of the month. How am I getting this 1 right here? Well, what I want you to notice, the pattern is going to work somewhat similar to what we did up here, except up here I want you to notice, the index is kind of matched the day of the week, except for the Sunday deal, and we addressed that back at the beginning when I went over all this crazy stuff. Now if you look, the indexes are actually 1 less than whatever F-dom is. Do you see that? This index of 3 when F-dom is 4. Well, let's see how this code works. So sun first is off, meaning Monday is the first day of our week. F-dom is equal to 4. Is this equal to the module index plus 1? Absolutely. Check this out. Module index plus 1. The index for this particular part is 3. 3 plus 1 gives us 4. Yes, 4 is equal to 4. What do we want to return? A 1. Perfect. And folks, this is going to work for all of them. Granted that sun first is off, meaning Monday is the first day of your week. I want you to notice that F-dom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these are all bigger, exactly 1 bigger than the index they lie inside of. So all we have to do is take that index, add 1 to it, and verify that those two values are equal, F-dom and the module index plus 1. And if that's the case, we want to set that particular date to a 1. And that's how we're getting those 1s here. Now, let's keep FDOM at 4. And let's see how to get this 2. To get this 2, we are now inside of an index of 4, but we want to return a 2 when our index is 4. How in the world do we do this? That's what this part of the code is going to cover. Sun first is off. Good. FDOM. What is FDOM? I'm letting it be 4 right now. Is that less than or equal to the module index? Okay, what's our module index? Our module index is 4, so yes, it is less than or equal to. What do we want to return? We want to return the module index, which is 4, minus FDOM. FDOM is 4, and then we want to add 2 to it. 4 minus 4 is 0, plus 2 gives us 2. Let's see how we get this 3 here. So to get this 3, we are now inside of an index of 5. Index of 5. So sun first is off. FDOM. FDOM is still 4. Is that less than or equal to our module index of 5? Absolutely. 4 is less than or equal to 5. So what do we want to return? The module index of 5 minus FDOM, which is 4, plus that 2 that we see right there. 5 minus 4 is 1, plus 2 gives us 3. And one more time to make sure that this makes sense, the same codes that I'm going over here and here apply to all of these pieces down here. Because those are the only 2 parts of the code where sun first is equal to 0, up until this point at least, right? So let's make sure we can get this 4. The index that we are sitting inside of is 6. So coming back to our code, sun first is 0, FDOM is still 4. Yes, that is less than or equal to the module index of 6. What do we want to return? The module index of 6 minus FDOM, which is 4, plus 2. 6 minus 4 plus 2 is 4, and check it out, we're getting 4. So that code's always going to work. Now, what we will see in future tutorials, let me go ahead and reset this back to October just by touching that month that I discussed in earlier parts. But later on, what we're going to be doing too is we'll be talking about this code as well. I hope you do see why I've kind of broken this up into multiple parts just to work on row 1. But yeah, I mean, the module index is what it's all about. And that module index is when I go to row 1, this has an index of 0, this has an index of 1, index of 2, index of 3, index of 4, index of 5, and an index of 6. The only thing about that is, you know, you may be thinking, oh, well, these numbers are just matching what the index is. You see these little numbers right here? That's not going to be the case. Not every single time. If I go over to November now, this still has an index of 0, index of 1, index of 2, index of 3. Nothing's getting returned. I don't see any numbers in here for my text items. Notice all of those spots are blank. It's not going to be until we get to an index of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This very next square when I scroll down, look. That's going to be that one right there. Let me tap on that. See? But in future parts, we will start to see the days from the previous month overlapping into this. And there you have it. Part 4, we're starting to create row 1. We still have styling to talk about. We still have overlap groups to talk about. And I mean, heck, folks, thinking ahead, we still got the agenda to worry about, the dots to indicate our agenda. But, you know, taking this step by step, I told you it was going to be a crazy series. But that's it for this video. I hope it helped.